This image presents a highly surreal and abstract scene. The background and surroundings are in muted tones, with abstract shapes and forms that evoke a sense of disorientation or dreamlike quality. At the forefront, there is a figure that appears to be pieced together from various textures and segments. The body parts are outlined, filled with different patterns or colors, suggesting a disjointed or fragmented character. In the middle of the composition, there appears to be a transparent, tree-like structure that rises above an object on the ground, which could be interpreted as some type of futuristic device or machinery, characterized by its smooth surface and tubes or wires protruding from it. The entire scene conveys a mixture of organic and inorganic elements with a strong sense of artificiality, hinting at themes of technology, nature, and perhaps the interplay between reality and artificial constructs. The atmosphere is both ethereal and unnerving, with a complex layering of elements that challenges the viewer to make sense of the space. This image depicts a surreal and abstract scene with a dreamlike quality. The background and surroundings are in muted tones, with abstract shapes and forms that may cause disorientation. In the foreground, there is a figure that seems to be pieced together from various textures and segments. The body parts are outlined and filled with different patterns or colors, suggesting a disjointed or fragmented character. In the center of the composition, there is a transparent, tree-like structure that rises above an object on the ground. The object appears to be a futuristic device or machinery characterized by its smooth surface and tubes or wires protruding from it. The entire scene conveys a mixture of organic and inorganic elements, with a strong sense of artificiality. It hints at themes of technology, nature, and perhaps the interplay between reality and artificial constructs. The atmosphere is both ethereal and unnerving, with a complex layering of elements that challenges the viewer to make sense of the space. This vivid description paints a surreal, abstract scene marked by a dreamlike ambience. The background features muted tones and abstract shapes that create a sense of disorientation. At the forefront, there's a distinct figure, seemingly assembled from a variety of textures and segments. This figure's body parts are distinctly outlined and filled with diverse patterns and colors, portraying a disjointed and fragmented persona. Central to the composition is a translucent, tree-like structure towering over a peculiar object on the ground, which resembles futuristic machinery. Characterized by its sleek surface and an assortment of protruding tubes or wires, this object enhances the scene's futuristic vibe. The scene masterfully blends organic and inorganic elements, exuding a palpable sense of artificiality. It encapsulates themes of technology and nature, exploring the dichotomy between reality and synthetic constructs. The atmosphere is simultaneously ethereal and unsettling, with a complex layering of elements that invites viewers to unravel the intricate details and underlying messages of the composition. This is a surreal and abstract scene with a dreamlike atmosphere. In the background, there are muted tones and abstract shapes. At the forefront is a figure made up of various textures and segments, portraying a disjointed and fragmented persona. The central focus is a translucent, tree-like structure towering over a peculiar object resembling futuristic machinery. The scene blends organic and inorganic elements, exploring the dichotomy between reality and synthetic constructs. It is simultaneously ethereal and unsettling, inviting viewers to unravel its intricate details and messages. This description crafts a surreal and abstract tableau infused with a dreamlike quality. The background is painted in muted tones, populated with amorphous shapes that evoke a sense of the uncanny. Dominating the foreground is a figure constructed from an eclectic mix of textures and segments, which collectively suggest a fragmented and disjointed identity. At the heart of the composition stands a translucent, arboreal structure that looms over an enigmatic object reminiscent of advanced machinery. This central element, with its sleek surfaces and protruding wires, symbolizes the fusion of the natural with the technological. The scene artfully merges organic and synthetic elements, pondering the interplay between genuine and artificial realms. It is both ethereal and disquieting, challenging viewers to decipher its complex layers and embedded significances. The text describes a surreal and abstract tableau. The background is painted in muted tones, and the foreground has a figure made up of an eclectic mix of textures. At the center of the composition stands a translucent, tree-like structure that looms over an enigmatic object resembling advanced machinery. The scene blends organic and synthetic elements, challenging viewers to decipher its complex meanings. This passage depicts a surreal and abstract tableau, where the background is washed in muted tones, setting a subdued atmosphere. In the foreground, a figure assembled from a diverse array of textures commands attention, symbolizing complexity and fragmentation. Central to the scene is a translucent, tree-like structure that towers over a mysterious object, suggestive of sophisticated machinery. This juxtaposition of naturalistic and mechanical elements creates a striking contrast, blending the organic with the synthetic. The composition invites viewers to engage deeply, challenging them to unravel its intricate layers and extract the complex meanings woven throughout this ethereal and unsettling visual narrative. This passage describes an abstract and surreal scene where the background has muted colors, creating a subdued atmosphere. In the foreground, a figure with various textures commands attention, representing complexity and fragmentation. At the center of the scene is a translucent tree-like structure that towers over a mysterious object, suggesting advanced machinery. The combination of natural and mechanical elements creates a powerful contrast, blending organic and synthetic. The composition invites viewers to engage with it deeply. It challenges them to unravel its intricate layers and extract the complex meanings woven throughout this ethereal and unsettling visual narrative. This passage outlines a surreal and abstract scene with a background of muted colors that sets a subdued tone. In the foreground, a figure composed of various textures stands out, symbolizing complexity and fragmentation. Central to the scene is a translucent, tree-like structure that overshadows a mysterious object reminiscent of advanced machinery. This fusion of natural and mechanical elements strikes a compelling contrast, merging organic with synthetic. The composition engages viewers, challenging them to decode its intricate layers and uncover the deep, complex meanings embedded in this ethereal and disquieting visual narrative. This passage describes a surreal and abstract scene with muted colors that create a subdued atmosphere. In the foreground, a figure made up of different textures stands out, symbolizing complexity and fragmentation. At the center of the scene is a translucent, tree-like structure that overshadows a mysterious object resembling advanced machinery. The fusion of natural and mechanical elements creates a striking contrast, merging organic and synthetic elements. The composition engages viewers and challenges them to decipher its intricate layers and uncover the deeper, complex meanings woven into this ethereal and unsettling visual narrative.